Alright, in this video we're going to be continuing with creating autoresponder content outline, and this is step number 2. So this is it's going to be a pretty quick lesson, but it might take you a little while to actually sit down and do the work. So step 2 is going to be taking the milestones you came up with in step 1 and then listing common objections and or buying decisions that your prospect will have to make for each one. So the reason you're doing this is you will try and work these in to your autoresponder emails as a way to try and not only help them but also push them over the edge to get them to purchase whatever it is that you're promoting. So here's how that looks for my business with Vacation Sumo. So milestone 1 again was choosing a location. So when you kind of like sit down and think about what objections or like what do people have to consider when they are at this stage in their journey. During your research phase, you probably came up with a list of all kinds of roadblocks and objections. They may or may not fit into these milestones now that you've gotten further down the path and figured out more about who these people are. So you may have to think about maybe you don't have any data on a certain milestone. You just have to think about where they're at. What are they probably asking themselves? Maybe they're going to forums and other places to ask questions. So you may have to go back and do some more research in a specific milestone. So with milestone number 1 for me, choose a location. These are kind of the things people have to consider. Not really a lot of objections for this milestone. So a few things that they would, typical like buying decision or considerations would be time of year, budget, and then travel distance. Milestone 2 is going to be choosing a resort or lodging. I didn't put it in here, I don't think, but so like objections in this case could be, is this a trustworthy hotel, resort, place to stay, or is it just, are we going to get there and it's going to look totally different than the pictures? So like putting some reviews or real testimonials or whatever from actual unbiased people for certain resorts would be helpful and to overcome that objection. So I didn't put that in there, but some other things they might be considering is for where to stay is maybe should I stay at a hotel? Should we go on a cruise? Should we do an all-inclusive resort? And then also that applies as well budget and time of year for the lodging. And the last one, is going to be choosing a travel agent, or can they just book out on their own? So again, who to trust is a big one here, especially if you're doing it on your own. Travel agents at least will usually have, they're kind of obligated to withhold to certain standards in that industry. And then there's, third-party reviews for all kinds of travel agents. When you're booking on your own and on a website that maybe you've never heard of before, the trust factor is going to be huge. So that's something that I'm really, really going to have to work on to overcome if they've never heard of bookvip.com before. A couple other things that they're going to consider is where can I get the best deals, save the most money, that type of thing, and could I potentially get some extra perks if I went through an agent or vice versa. So those are the objections or buying decisions that I came up with my milestones. So now is time for you to go ahead and sit down and do the same thing with your milestones. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and move on to step 3, next lesson.